welcome back.
Hello, people. How you doing? I'm just here in the back doing the work that I always do. We have Steven with us. I have the button to cut out all the Brennan stuff, but I wanted to start this video by apologizing because it took us way too long to get here. Over a month. Schoolwork can be stressful and can take up time, and that is on me, and I apologize. But we're finally here, so let's talk for a second. Hyper Paracosm is right now. Space Circles is coming next week or sooner, depending on how things go. And then Problematic is in the pipeline as well. And we're really excited to be going back to consistent video uploads. Thank you for sticking with us. We don't deserve it. Enjoy this epic tutorial. I'm really excited for this. Thank you.
What up? It's Marbleguy and welcome back. Yes, back finally to All the Circles Plus. How? Where's the how? Where is it? Where is it on the screen? Where is it, James? Shit, my headphone. How to demon. I don't know. I don't even know where all the elements are. Okay, it's back to how to Extremon. Sorry, but the extreme demon, not the demon. Dad, did it wrong. Okay, all the circles, how to Extremon, we're back. Hyper Paracosm. I can't believe I beat this. Dude, look at my reaction. I beat Hyper! Yes! No! I couldn't believe I beat it in that moment too. Dad, all right? I beat it though. It is the hardest level by far I've ever beaten. We are now at, what are we at? Like 76 circles, something like that. By the time you're watching this video, I'd say more like close to 80 now. We're very close. We're really making progress. It's 101, we're getting there. And we have Hyper, our first main list. Oh my God, reaction again, James. Oh, I can't even believe. 100! How is it actually 100? I want to talk about something now. Actually, let's switch to the GD screen first, because this is my first main list tutorial. This is way harder than down base. This is way harder than any other demon I've ever done a tutorial for. So there's a couple new ideas I want to introduce for players who are trying to get into playing harder levels that in general are going to be really useful, and then of course bring you through the level. So I'll see you at Hyper. Alright guys, we are at Hyper Paracosm. There's a check mark. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Before we get into this, I want to introduce an idea that I need you to understand. When I did all my previous tutorials, down base, supersonic, those are the big ones that stick out, even like random ones, ultimate demon mix, AQ, whatever. I was always teaching you more how to do the level, how to do the tricky bits, here and there a click pattern that works. Those are important things and will be gone through in this level. But there's a new type of idea I want to introduce, and that's called inputting rhythms. A lot of your best players go beyond just understanding how to beat the level to understanding how to make themselves consistent. For everybody, it's a little different. Some people are very visual, and so having a visual cue for every single jump is their way of being consistent even at the top tier. That's their thing. For some people, they literally might be able to use the music to help, though usually the music's not synced enough, so that's tough, but for some people it probably works. For me, and I find that it will probably work for a lot of you, when I play Hyper, I would literally count in my head, sometimes with real numbers or sometimes just with like a click sound or something as I was playing the level, the same rhythm that I was actually clicking. So for example, Hyper Paracosm, the ship part, and we'll get into it, there's like 3 orbs you have to hit. I would literally in my head count 1, 2, 3, or go in my head, not make the noise out loud while I was playing, but just in my head, so that my head was making the same rhythm that I was clicking. You have to hit them at the perfect length, not just hit them at the right time, but for the perfect amount of time, so that you're in the right position to move through that really tight gap and get to the next part. I can't stress enough, start trying to implement these rhythms. So I will teach in rhythms as much as I will teach the usual how to do transitions, how to do this, how to do that, visual cues. Start trying to do this, even if it's just that like the hardest part. It helps so much. It changed my game. I went from beating nothing for years to beating all 3 of my 3 hardest over the past 3 months. Without further ado, let's jump in. This will be a little different the way I teach it, but it's still similar. You still should be able to learn a lot from it. Let's go. Hyper Paracosm. I don't even have it complete in practice mode, so this will be the first time.
One more thing before we start. Brendan is still using the new pause hack he implemented at the beginning in AQ, which by the way, great video, go watch that. The point is that this pause hack means that he doesn't have to press the pause button to go out of the level. He can just pause it at any time, like that. That was good. I liked that. And he'll show you details using that method. So if you get confused, you'll hit the little thing in the top left that says pause. Do it again, please. Thank you. And that's basically it. All right, enjoy learning.
First 3 orbs, this is a perfect place to start implementing the new rhythm style I'm talking about. Because here, there's not really much for me to teach you. 1, 2, 3. All right, it's 3 orbs. You can see where they are. You can see that the gaps are tight. You're not gonna benefit much from me like trying to explain how to click the orbs. I mean, like, it's very evident. It's just hard timings. So that's where I implement my mental rhythms, which help me a lot to be consistent. So for here, it's just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then I count that. And when I begin every attempt, and eventually it got just consistent because it's the first 3 clicks, but I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in my head, and it worked. So get that rhythm in your head, and it will help you. 1, 2. I already hate these orbs though. There we go. And then you can follow it up with the 1, 2 that comes after that. 1, 2. Oh my god, I can't even do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Boom. I did not place a checkpoint. I forgot to go into practice mode. Okay. These 2 orbs you just buffer. Easy. These 2 orbs you just buffer. Hit this dash orb, and you want to try to land in the middle of the pad. Here I recommend this. This first gap here. Highlight this first gap, James. I don't know if we're that cool. We're gonna like be highlighting all the places I'm talking about, and the web be cool. Just put a little focus in on it all together. James, be good, man. I do 1, 2, 3 in this gap before I get to the orb. 3 ship clicks, and I do 3 ship clicks every time. Why? Because it's super consistent when you do the same amount of ship clicks every time. If you're playing this level and sometimes you go like that, which is like 100 clicks, and then sometimes you go 1, 2, I mean, that's gonna be inconsistent when you're first getting started, when you're trying to learn the level. Imagine you're trying to make progress on this level. It's hard enough to get to 30 once, and you keep dying at that ship part because you're going 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like every other time. Having a consistent amount of clicks you do every time already makes your play way more consistent, because your brain not only knows what to do with the part, but knows exactly how to do it. The ship orbs I was talking about earlier, you have to hit these. Well, the easiest way to line it up for the last one is to hit them all the same length. You can really just barely touch the first 2 and still get to the second one, but then you have to hit the second one a little longer to go just high enough to get through that mini gap. So I implemented this strategy where I was like, I'll just hit all 3 orbs the same length so that it's consistent, and I have 3 clicks that are very together and concise, instead of just I have to hit these 2 short and then this one long. You don't need to do that, because there's a way where you can do it all together. 1, 2, 3, right? And then you are enough. If I hit these short, 1, 2, it still works, but then I have to hit that one a little longer. Look, I hit that 3rd orb short, the same shortness as the other 2, and then I was too short. I mean, it can change it up, but it's harder to tell your brain, hit really short, hit a little longer, than hit all of these the same length. So that's why I recommend here just working out that length in your head. So 1, 2, 3. I might be too hot. No, that was perfect. See, that worked out really well. And the count I'm doing, where I'm like 1, 2, 3, that's how long I'm hitting it for. Because I could say 1, 2, 3, and that would be a short rhythm. But you see how I'm trying to integrate the rhythm with the clicks, and it helps it stay consistent. So when I got consistent at this pre-drop, I like barely died here. And people were saying to me, wow, dude, I can't believe you're so consistent at the pre-drop, because the pre-drops in the level is tough. But it's the rhythms. This part here is tough because you have to go down and then you go up a little bit the second to land on this platform. You want to land on that platform because that will make the next 4 clicks always consistent in the same manner. If you try to fly above the platform into the green orb, then you're always going to be a different height at the green orb. I just do 4 clicks here. 4 clicks was always consistent, so it's 1, 2, 3 down, and then the 4th click you just pull up a little bit just to get onto the platform. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. You see that? That was actually, by the way, when I took the checkpoint away, went back to do the ship, it was a lot easier, because that's what I have. That's what I have memorized. Here you see if you land on this platform, the cube's always going to take this. It's always going to take the same route. And then for these orbs, it's a similar thing. So I had to get a rhythm in my head, because you don't hit you don't buffer the green orbs, and you don't hit them super late. You hit them kind of both in the middle. It's really weird. So again, I just got a rhythm, and then my rhythm was like 1, 2, 1, 2. Once you find the rhythm that works, then just say it in your head, keep doing it, and then you can get the rhythm in your head. And then if your head is saying the same rhythm that you're clicking, then it's going to link up a lot more often and be consistent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's always what worked for me. And then we get to the wave. So the wave, I mean, again, rhythms are going to be big, because a lot of the wave is very simple what to do, but it's hard to do it because it's hyper. There's a few tricks, but so here we go. 1, big 1, and then 2. So 1, 2. Also, going into a wave at a 4 times is always annoying, and that's why, again, rhythms are useful. You want to try to get rhythms and visual cues down so that when you go from this build up to a 4 times speed, you can try to be consistent on the length you're clicking for. I'm counting this out so that maybe you can start to pick up on some of the rhythms as I play. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. Okay. So that's how the first rhythm goes. It's really hard to give lessons on that. I mean, it's very obvious where to go. I just recommend separating what's coming now from the first 4 clicks, because you do big 1, 2, and then you do a short 1, 2. You want that, you have to wait a little bit before you do this next 1, 2, 3, and it's good to separate those rhythms. So don't try to do like from the start here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's not on the same like height, not for the same amount of clicks. So it's gonna be much harder to develop that rhythm. Here is gonna be a 1, 2, 3, 1. I have a bad checkpoint, but we'll do it 1, 2, 3, and then you'll know that the slow speed you have to go a little longer. And then you have to do a jitter here. It's just a jitter. You just do a jitter right there. I mean, it's nothing. And then it brings you into here. This is another one I had to get a click count for. Tip on this part. I don't know why I keep doing this when I figured out how to do this, so you can see. So for this part, it looks like you have to go higher on the second one visually. So you have to do like a medium click and then a long click. And technically you do, but again, you have enough space in the first click that you could do 2 equal sized clicks and still make it. I say that because it's easier to do 1, 2 than doing 1 short and then 2 long and then trying to like get the distances in your mind. So just more practice it as 2 similar length strokes, and then it will take some time because this transition is really weird. This is like my least favorite part of the level, but it will come quickly because it'll be just 2 even length wave clicks. So I did just 1, 2 here, 1, 2, all right? And then see, like it still works. And then because I just have that rhythm down for what that is. This is another rhythm. You're just gonna want to go 1, 2, and then this is really weird because what you do is you have to click and go up 1, 2, but you want to be as far with the mini wave as you can to the right. So because like if you do too fast, if you do 1, 2, you're gonna hit that saw. You don't want that. You want to be past that saw. So just again, it's a 1, 2, but get a click rhythm. This part's not that hard. This spam bit, most people just go up right past this saw, this first saw here, and do 1, 2, 3, 4, spam. And I did that for a while. But then I realized that I don't like that spam. And the spam wasn't the worst thing, but I always find a way to make things as easy, simple, and consistent as possible and take the least amount of energy. Having to do 4 spam clicks does take energy. Having to do not 4 spam clicks takes a little less energy. So I came up with a fun way to do it even easier. So I'll show you what I do. I'll show you the normal way. So you can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up, and that's fine, but that's inconsistent because sometimes you hit the top saws, sometimes you hit the bottom saws. What I did, 1, 2, 1. So see there's gap here. I'm gonna try to pause here. So the idea here is that I go here, see my mini wave almost hit the spike there, that you want to be low here. And then my mini wave, it might be high enough here, but you even want to get a little higher, like where you're almost touching this saw right here. Then what you do is see this spike here, highlight the spike, James, right next to this mini saw, right in the middle here, right under the %. It's a lot easier than you think. You'd think you wouldn't have enough distance, but if you just do a big stroke and then another big stroke, you can end up with your wave right past this black spike right here in the middle. When you come down, you just do a jitter, 1, 2, and then you can go up to the next part. Because then you just do a stroke, and a 1, 2, instead of having to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in an inconsistent, because look how inconsistent the path is here. It's not like a straight, it's like the saws are all over the place. So I find that works. I'm just gonna play it through fast once you understand what I'm doing, but there's trying to explain it. So see, 1, 1, and then 1, 2, and see, like it works. Like I'm almost hitting that spike, but it's actually quite consistent. So this next part, you're gonna go up, and then here at this normal portal, you wanna do 1, 2, 3. That's the most likely that you're gonna come out and not hit either of the saws. Still kills you, but doing 4 clicks there is too ridiculous, and 2 is, you don't have enough space for a nice big 2 where it's consistent, so. So I do 1, 2, 3 there, and then you're here. So here what I do is because this next bit's the hardest part of the level. 29 with this 4 times speed into the spam is the hardest part of the level. Everyone knows that. Here, my strat was always, okay, let me try to make my 2 times speed click as consistent, as similar as possible every time. So I'm always entering the 4 times speed at the same place, right? I just worked on this for a while. 1, 2, right? Just up 1, right? Basically up 1 simple jitter. And see, it's kind of looking the same every time. It actually is looking the same every time, which is good. Up 1, long, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. This next bit, It's just hard. You have to go long, and then you have to do a little jitter and a little jitter. It's just very difficult. I'll try to pause at a couple places that might help. Long one. So here, so you see there's a 3x speed arrow, and then there's the first one, second one, third one, because there's 3 arrows in the 3x speed arrow. You want to go at the third one, because basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to go up into it, so you're past any of the spikes on the upper side of the diamond, because then you can actually just do 3 clicks to get through the whole spam, as opposed to like going up early and then trying to jitter up and down through it. That became really consistent for me, and the spam, once I took a couple seconds to learn it, I'd never died here. So see, it's like right at the edge of this third arrow right there. See, that's perfect. And then I kind of guess go a little higher on the last third, but you kind of just get the feel for it. And then see, you're already here. And then every once in a while I'd hit the spike here right below where my wave just died, but it's not often enough that I change this method. Then it's right there for the 2 times. It's really simple. It works out really well. So they just go up for the 2 times. And then here, you can see there's spikes on the side, so just avoid them, but the path is very clear. For a rhythm here, 1 jitter. Get in your head, 1 jitter. And then here, this part's difficult because basically what you have here is like 4 wave clicks, but they're all different lengths, and they're just kind of like medium, short, long. It's like really, it's really just kind of confusing. So it feels hard at first, but you do have a lot of space there. So I kind of just, again, I ordered my rhythm in my head the right way so that it works. So I did 1, 2, long, short, and then long, and then the last one's just very long when you're holding to the top. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it's just long there. I would die at 37 a lot because it sucks, but this pattern actually became pretty consistent when I was really playing the level, so that's good. So here in the duel, you can do this duel many ways. I recommend going above the saw like this, because you always want to decrease, even in the easier bits of the level, you always want to decrease the amount of clicks you have to do, because it saves energy and it makes for consistency. So if you go above the saw here, then if you go below the saw with your top wave, above saw, below saw, and then you go up and you do 2 medium clicks, then you only do the whole duel in 4 clicks, and it's really consistent. I didn't usually die here at the duel. Best is up, down, and then 1, 2. So up, down, 1, 2. It looks like you have to do like 3 clicks there, but you can do 1, 2, and it's more than enough. And then here's pretty simple. This is a very simple part of the level. It's just slow. So you're just gonna be going up 1, 1, and then 1, 1. So just get the rhythm in your head. That's like the easiest part of the wave. So, I mean, if you can do the other stuff, then this stuff doesn't really need a lot of lessons. 1, 2, 3, so you can get the right length. 1, 2, 3, down. And then here you have to go up like that, and then there's spikes there, so you have to go to the bottom of this corridor like that, and then there's spikes here. So really the best way to work on this part is you see these 2 spikes here. Besides, there's this big saw right here under the 48. There's 2 spikes. You want to get your wave, because these are fake spikes, you want to get your wave on those. If you're looking for visual cues, there they are. You want to aim from here in this gap where my checkpoint is. You have the gap coming. You want to aim for that first wave, this first fake spike. You go up, you aim for the second fake spike, and then you do have to do a slightly longer click to get above the saw all the way on the right. So I had a 1, 2, 3 here that kind of would always be relatively consistent. 1, 2, 3, and the 3 is a little longer than the other 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like that. Okay, so it's a little short. Pretty simple. See how like my wave is in where the fake spikes are? That's the visual cue if you're looking for one. So then this part, again, you go up. By the way, this part has a little fun little trick where there's a D block like right here on the slope. You see my waves going down before it dies. I'm just holding up. So you have like a lot of room here to just go up and just like let yourself down beforehand. It's really, really convenient. You see here, I die right at the top, but here it lets me down. So it's a little bit of a nice little gesture, I guess, from the level. So you go big, and then here, I always recommend actually going as early as possible on this first click here at 52, and then letting your wave jump as far down as it can, and then doing a shorter click just to get over the saw here. I always was early and then 1. So early and then 1. Early and then 1, because some people kind of go later here, but I feel like that just gets you all disoriented. So early and then 1, because then you're here, and then you have a lot of space to do the 2 jitters right. If you're a little farther, it can be a little tougher because you'll be high at the wrong place. So then here, I just do 1, 2. So I do 1, 2, and that's fine. That's enough. Some people do like 3 or even 4, but that's silly because it's more inconsistent. And also, if you have more than enough space like this, you just have to get the rhythm of where you started, basically. And then this is simple. You're just going through the corridors, up, nothing too hard here, and then 1, 2 here at the bottom. Here for this bottom bit, it's really just a very consistent 1, 2, 3 here, and then the 3 is just a longer 3 at the end, but it's a consistent distance from each other. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you just go higher. So see, it's gonna go higher. You're gonna go right down here. Then you bring the next part. So the next part's pretty simple. All you have to do here, as I would always jitter. I think I would jitter, right? Or would I not? I might. Oh no, I don't think I jittered. Yeah, I did not jitter. So you can jitter here. So some people would do this, like actually try to jitter in here, but you don't need to. You can just do this. I mean, you literally have a ton of space to just do an up. I don't even know why I thought I jittered. Sometimes you hit that if you're too far, but you have a lot more space to do that than you do to like try to do that, because that you lose control and it's just as inconsistent as going up 1. So, and then when you're here, very simple toward the end, it's just a big 1 right here, 1, 2, and it's like I don't really do 3 there. So up 1, 2, 3, and then you do the jitter. Up 1, 2, 3, jitter, and then you in the slow, and then it's free. So I don't have to talk about the slow really. 1, 2, 3, jitter, and then up, down, up, and then you're just gonna let go anywhere in the space and it changes you and teleports you anyway, so see, it teleports you. So now for this bit is very infamous because I died a lot of this first cube. Oh my god, 64, 66, 65, just all tough, all terrible, terrible, terrible things. The idea here is use the visual cues of these dots. So you have this dot here, I'm just gonna try to start playing it again. So you have the dot here, and then you have the dot here and the dot here. If you're a visual cue kind of player, use those dots. Those are very simple. You just want to wait till your cube's really like just covering the dot to make your jump, right? So it's just covering, and then you want to make the jump. But what I did was even more consistent for me is that I would, the first jump here on the 3 spike, this orb, and then the third jump, the one right after this orb, are all spaced like just about perfectly evenly. So I just had a 1, 2, 3 click count on my head, and so like I would use the visual cues a little bit, but like it would be really helpful to just be in my head 1, 2, 3, and then like the next 2 were just quick, so they came right after. So like I got very consistent when I just got the 1, 2, 3. Also, it gives your mind something to think about when you come out of the wave, because oftentimes it's very nervous to go from this fast wave to like, okay, cube, what? This ball part, obviously, this is simple, hit the orb, it's not hard. Here, you're just gonna hit this and this. I mean, there's not really much to teach there. You're gonna have to hit this orb pretty late. See, it's late because you don't wanna hit the spike. So let's just do it normal. 1, 1, 2, 1, and then boom. Okay, so here, you wanna jump off this platform about in the middle, not too late, not too early. If you're late, it can be very bad because you go up on the 1, 2, 3, 4, so late. Actually, that worked. But yeah, it depends on how you do it. If you jump too early though, then that's bad because then you're not in it. But like middle to late, because what you can do here is you don't have to hit all 6 of these orbs. You can if you want. Some people are just badass and just have a spam gene at 71% in the main list. Great. But you can jump late off this first platform and do 4 clicks, and it works basically every time. I think I died once there from 0 because I was nervous, but otherwise it's super consistent. I'd never die there, barely even in practice. So I'd just jump late, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would work. I didn't even do 4 clicks there. And it works. And sometimes it looks like it's not gonna work, but just get the rhythm in your head so you're always clicking around the same place, and it does hit all the orbs right. Jump, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, boom, that's free. This ball part actually is really simple too. It looks like it has a lot of clicks, it does not. 1 click here, right this, 1, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's all you have to do. The first click sometimes will bug, like 1 in 20. The first click on that ball bugs because you're like a pixel too far, and so it flies you up into the ceiling. It's really, or the floor. It's really weird, but it's not often enough that I change the pattern. I guess that's a pretty easy part anyway. So if you want to click a lot and be safe, do whatever you want. This ship though, this ship is a hassle. So here, the best way to do it is have a click count on your ship. So you're always around the same place every time, because the big problem, of course, is this part here, because basically what you have to do is you have to enter this spike pillar at the right time and then do a click to get you up enough to fly through the top pillar, but not too high so you can fall down to the bottom one here on the right. It's really, really difficult. It killed me all too much. No, 78, 78, 78, 78, 78. But I'll give you the click count that I used for the ship. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, I did the 2 a little faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So see, that's the kind of visual you want there. You can also do 1 click to go from the bottom to the 2 pillars, but I found 2 was more consistent because it was a consistent double click, a 1, 2, as opposed to having to do the 1 at the right length. And like if you were a slightly different height, then the exponential kind of error comes in, because you know ships are exponential, they go up like that. So if you're doing only 1 click, you have a lot less control than if you're doing like a bunch of little clicks. So that's why straight flying is hard, but you have to do a lot of clicks because it's an exponential game of more. consistent, and then 1, 2, 3. When I come out of this, I always do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, just to hit the orbs. And then here, I would just have it. This is not that hard. It's really just a straight fly pattern. I always use the same number of clicks so I can increase consistency and not have to think about, because like my least favorite part about a straight fly sometimes is that you come out of it or you enter portal slightly differently if you don't have a click count. Your brain doesn't know how many times to click. It just clicks until it's ready for the next part. So if I don't have a click count for something as hard as this, then I'm just clicking like this and like, you know, I'm just trying to like gain control, and it's harder to gain control when you don't know how many clicks you're gonna do, you know, and then just like all over the place, and then like I might click too much here, and then, you know, I can't get control. But if I always have a click count, then I'm always gonna consistently do it, especially when there's just nerves and adrenaline from 0. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then you're always down and then do the 1 at the end. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then down. And you can do 1 or 2 clicks there, whatever you want. Here, you just want to hit this a little late. If you hit this too early, then I just happen to be in the right place. You just don't want to drop into this portal too high or too low, because that can create problems. Mostly it's jump, jump, and then hit that really late. We'll jump, jump, and then that late, and then it's free. Also here, you can, in the jumps, you do 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. You only have to do 3 clicks there. For some reason, I always do 4, and I don't know why. I don't know. I guess like the fourth one didn't even register, but my brain saw the black orb and never considered trying 3. 1, 1, late, 1, 2, 3. And that's fine. Obviously, you see that works really well. And then there's an orb in here. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would do 3 or 4, it works. That's the only time I'd really spam without a count, because I would always be afraid I would count that I would be like a little low and hit the soar by accident. So I always wanted to make sure I had the max height. So, and then this part, again, a click count, because oh my God. So to try to give myself the best chance to always be ready for the straight fly, I'd go 1, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 1, 2, 3 there. And I would click slow like that, like 1, 2, 3, as opposed to like doing really fast clicks, because you have the room for it. At first it doesn't seem like it, but you're a mini ship, so you have a really small hitbox, so you do have the room for that. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'd miss the yellow orb. You could go down and hit the yellow orb, but then you have to do a double click. Also, you have to go up and down. If you do the green orb, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tap. That's it, and it's really easy. It's much easier. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see that when you get out of that, you have to then do, I would always do the 6 orb click, then you do a click, you do a 1, 2. Because when you're about to hit that spike, you do 1 to fix your ship and 1 to get in there. And they're like equal length clicks. So it actually worked out. It just became a pattern. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Boom. And then you're the cube. So that's free. And then here is pretty simple. 1, 1, 1. And then apparently if you jump there, you get a coin. So, and that's like not even that inconsistent, because then you're always going to be hitting that red pad at the same time. And then you can, I mean, I probably should have gotten the coin, but I didn't. So, and people yell at me for it. So here's a trick for the end bit that helped me. I never died at 94. Even though people thought I was going to. If you get the coin, you don't have to worry about this, because you just land on the pad and you always hit the pad. You land on that one tip, you hit the pad at the same time, get the black orb. Honestly, I recommend getting the coin. If I hadn't been so many attempts into hyper, by the time I realized how the coin worked, I probably would have gotten it from the start, because it makes the end more consistent. Because I didn't realize it, I was like, I'm just sticking with my method. I don't want to mess up what's already really hard for me. If you're not going to get the coin, when you hit the dash orb, make count in your head. I would count in my head just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's when I would release. So I'd always hit the red pad in about the same way, and then that would prepare, and then I would just have a rhythm for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then click, and I would like barely ever die there after I implemented that. But see, I didn't count that time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then jump. And then you can jump as you can see, you can jump really early at that last triple, because there's a red pad right past the 3rd spike that always catches you. You can die there, so be careful, but it's not a really hard triple. So that's gonna do it. That's gonna bring us to the end of Hyper Paracosm. I hope any of that was useful. There's a lot of tricks in there. It's a very hard level, but that's why I'm encouraging rhythms as much as I'm encouraging knowing the little tricks like the click counts and stuff like that, because it is one you have to really ingrain in your head if you're just getting into main lists. If you're really good at main lists, why are you watching this video and why you're still here? Go beat a main list if you can beat a bunch of them. All right. All right, Circles rating. This one for me is an 8 out of 9. I like this level. People get mad at me for liking this level, but it's not bad. The decoration, I think, is very classic Circles and wonderful. I think it's detailed in the right places. I really like how the last 40% is I think it's a very well done post drop. It goes with the song very well, and it increases the tension. I got really annoyed at it, but again, it goes well with the level. The wave is just good. It's a good wave. It's a little unbalanced as far as the first part being a lot harder, but again, it's a good wave. It has good gameplay in that sense. I think so. I think once you learn it and once you get consistent, it flows quite well. All the clicks are quite satisfying. Pauses and slow stuff at the right places, and it has fast wave at the right places, has breaks at the right places. The pre-drop gets really consistent after like 2 streams, 2 sessions of play, I guess call it. Yeah, it's hard and I got mad at it first, but like once I started doing it and like getting the rhythms in my head so I could get the ship consistent, it got really consistent. I would just never die there. So overall, 8 out of 9 for this level. What a wonderful circles. It's just so hard. Good luck if you're trying to go for this. I hope this tutorial again was useful. So that leaves just the completion. So enjoy my current hardest demon, my first main list, and we'll see you next time on all the circles or how to Extremon. I don't know which one's coming next. I beat Bowser! I beat Bowser Vortex! I beat Bowser! I beat Bowser! It's over! I beat Hateful Reflection! I beat Hateful Reflection! I beat Hateful Reflection! What? I did it! 25 to 100 in Hyper Paracosm! Oh. 75! 75! No, 78! 78! 78! No, 91! No! So 46, 46, 46, 46, 47, 49, and 44. All today. All wasted attempts. Because when I go into practice, I never die at those parts. I mean, 49 is probably the hardest of all those deaths. And that's not even a hard part at all. So just unfortunate.
Minecraft shooter game?
I mean, it's called snowballs. I don't know, or eggs or something. I don't even.
No, like an actual Call of Duty, well not Call of Duty, but like actual shooter game like... Wait, who just left?
A nug. Probably something important to do with Geometry Dash. Gotta love that Discord effect. Gotta love it. Give me just a second, actually.
No.
I beat Hyper Paracosm! I beat Hyper! Yes! No! Yes! I beat Hyper! I beat it! Oh! Yes! 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 I beat it! No way! No way! I'm actually good at GD. Okay, I'm gonna need 7 years. 7 years to calm down. Dude, I didn't think I was dude, I literally all those 46s and I'm just like, dude, we're done. We're done with this. Dude, 100! How is it actually 100? We have a lot of attempts because of the old attempts. And again, I played this level 2 years ago when my hardest was like down base and I was doing it for skill, not really to beat it. And I spent like 80K a round or more. Got 25 to 100 as the best I could do, but then I stopped. Knew it's gonna be about 30K, but we'll see. Well, let me get my actual calculator out. 26,723 plus 388 plus 679. 63,000 plus 63,950. This is the true old attempt grind. 74. 1,049, 15,444, 23,905. So my total attempt count, 132,212 to beat this stupid level. I'm not upset at that because 90K old did not help me with any of the new.
What does this say? Put it up! Shoot, was that before or after? Shoot. This is the worst timing. You cannot be doing this to me. God. Get up! Open Discord. Get me in there.
Yeah, the mega interface. I was like, okay.
Brendan!
Alright, so the other thing I get to do,
Brendan. The chat brought up a good point. Did you get rid of one attempt because of the no clip attempt?
well, I didn't get I don't.
One
Oh,
attempt doesn't
so
do
technically, I really should 132,211. James, change that shit on the stream now because I guess the no clip attempt can't count at any. In any respect of the imagination, because it was after I beat it. 132,211. That's insane. This has been a huge deal because these 3 levels were all levels Hateful, Bausha, and Hyper all had tons of old attempts on and burned out on. Hyper was less so than the other 2 because I didn't burn out trying to beat it. I burned out gaining skill, so it was a little different. But I burned out on all 3 of them. And then I finally actually conquered all 3 of them today. And oh my god. Guys, I can't believe I beat it. Beat it. Wait, white chocolate, you know what that means? Sakupin circles! You're going for Sakupin!
This is official! We can confirm that Brendan is practicing Sakupin circles right now as his main grind on twitch.tv/MarbleGuyGD. And I really encourage you to check that out when there's no actual videos coming out. And that's it! Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.